Let's see here.
There it goes. Now it's going live.
Now you're now you're cooking with
I was about 2 minutes off there.
with
Sorry about
grease.
that. I forgot to hit go live.
I mean, that'll do it too.
That'll probably help if I hit go live, right?
Oh my
I
god.
already got someone up in here, steel guards in the house. He says, Boomer.
Oh, I need to go over the comments. Crap. There we go.
There you go.
Yeah, Oklahoma, man. Dylan Gabriel. It's a hell of a pickup from 2 years ago. Just gonna leave it at that. I think Alabama should have been looking at Dylan Gabriel 2 years ago.
I know, right? I mean, we really missed in the transfer portal by doing some of the stuff we did. Tyler Buckner was just what was that, like a last minute ad or something? I mean, wasn't
Buckner,
nobody really pining for him anyway.
it was a holdover from Reese. That's all that was.
Well, I
So
mean, I don't know why we didn't go out and try to get Sam Hartman instead of letting Notre Dame get hold of him.
Whoa. That's a really good point. But yeah. So how are you hanging in there, OCF? Bryce Wayne, yeah.
Yeah.
I should have worn an Alabama hat, I guess, but
I feel like, these games, man, I'm going to the transfer portal. Alabama keeps acting like this, man. I'm out there in the transfer portal. As a fan, I'm just going to have to go ahead and give in to the Oklahoma Sooners, man. And I'm going to have to become a Boomer Sooner, man. Think about that.
Stupid. You're not gonna... We're advocates of Oklahoma, which is wild to think of. A couple of years ago, I would have never thought about that. But now, when you look at my channel, it really got established off of Oklahoma Sooner fans, and yours did too, and a lot of people's did. Man, Ty from Around the Table Sports, Sooner fans are out there in full force.
They're strong, man. They're hungry. They hadn't had a national championship in quite some time. They've had numerous Big 12 titles. People act like they've been dead for a long time. They had that one bad season. USC, the Skittle shitters, they come in there and talk about, they always throw out that 6 and 7. And USC's had, 3 or 4 losing seasons this century?
Yeah. Yeah, we won't get into that BS. That's a whole nother conversation.
Bruce Wayne says, I thought it said Bruce Wayne. I call him Bruce Wayne every time. Bryce Wayne. I'll be thinking Batman's up in here. He says a lot of ugly football happening today.
Yeah, you're right on that. Oh my God, man.
We was talking about that a while ago. I mean, we was just talking about how Michigan looks strong, and now they're struggling with Bowling Green. Texas is struggling with Wyoming. Alabama struggling with South Florida.
Dude, it just, yeah. Michigan is now pulling away from Bowling Green finally. Man,
You think that little small snippet that I played a while ago would be short enough to get away with?
You can play a small snippet of it, but
I just want to see I want people to see what a politician looks like in football clothing. Because he's just basically politically speaking in there, man. It's just like the shit that you expected. I mean, it's like Captain Obvious shit. Why don't you just call it like it is, man? Like you were saying.
Yeah. What's up, Hank? I see his comment down there. Yeah, I haven't seen a lot of you guys in a while, man. I've been off the camera for, a year?
Almost. That's right. What was the name of your channel again? I forget the entire name.
College Football with Jonathan Lewis. I've almost forgotten the name of my channel. It's been so long since I made a video.
I decided if I was going to have a guest tonight, that this would be my first guest since, this is the guy that actually got me into podcasting. I was just fooling around in the minor leagues on Facebook, starting shit. And actually found me on Twitter, which is a place that I usually don't visit very much. And so he got me into this. And so I figured my first guest tonight would be Jonathan Lewis. And he's thinking about bringing his college football podcast back eventually.
Maybe. We'll see. I like being on other people's channels. It's fun getting everybody's perspectives.
What's up, Teresa Moser's in the house? The Rhino 26 with a big fist bump.
Oh, man. Yeah, Sooners took care of business today.
I guess Hank knows you, right?
Yeah. Yeah, Hank was on my he was on my live streams quite a few times. There was a lot. I get on your stuff and I watch them, and I know about, it seems like at least half the people. This is what happens when you run out of beer.
You run out of beer tonight?
Mm-hmm. I drink leftover You know how people come over to your house and they'll bring a 6-pack or a 12-pack of something, they leave it, they'll drink one and leave it. This
That's
is the
always-
remnants of that.
That's always bonus, man. That's like when someone, lays the bag of fries down there, some extra fries that spilled out in the bag, man.
Yeah.
McDonald's fries.
Yep. What's going on, Stillguard? Yeah, that's another one. Stillguard Hank. Man, there's just gonna get the grill out. All right, you gonna play this clip?
So I'm really proud of our players for the way they competed in the game. This was obviously a tough game, and I thought the defense, did an outstanding job of only giving up 3 points, and that was after a turnover. That gave them good field position. So a lot of guys really played well, pressured the quarterback pretty well, didn't give up a lot of explosive plays, so kept them off the board. And I know that we struggled a little bit on offense. We ran the ball fairly well, much better in the second half than we did the first. But I'm really proud of our players for the way they competed in the game.
Defense.
Need to do a better job of getting them ready to play in games.
So to take away from that clip, if you don't mind me giving my opinion.
That's exactly why I've done it.
So let's be real for a minute. He's definitely playing the political game right now. There's no getting around that aspect of the clip at all. What irritates me as an Alabama fan, as you said, we played well. We did not play well. The offense looked terrible. And yes, it is a terrible day to run out of beer. I don't know how that happened. I'll be honest with you. Usually I'm on my game Saturdays. Sunday they don't sell beer here in Texas. I don't know how that happened. So, but luckily I got the backups. But either way, getting back into this clip, man, he's beating around the bush that he still doesn't know who the QB is. That's all he's saying. Our defense looks good. We have no idea who the QB is moving forward in the future, because otherwise he would already said his name. He would have said Ty Simpson looks good. Jalen Milroe would have been coming back, blah, blah, blah. Here's what happened. They wet the bed with Squirtle.
You went to bed with who?
The Pokemon. My daughter just gave this to me today. Perfect timing. The offense wet the bed. The offensive line, dude, I don't even know how to explain it, how bad it looks in pass protection. It looks so exposed. Look, I get it. Caden Proctor's a true freshman. That dude gets beat every other play around the edge. He cannot stop somebody from coming off that edge, man. All they got to do is just a quick a swim move around the edge, and they're right past them every time. It's pretty obvious that Dalcourt, with McLaughlin next to him at the guard position, I believe, right guard, it's not working out. The offensive line, and it's not just on the QB. Understand that. It's not just on the QB. It's a combination of the whole offense. Offensive line is I would say a D plus at best, like at this point. And then you're looking at the QB play, which you're probably looking at a C plus at best. Running backs, I don't know what to tell them. I can't blame them, because by the time they get handed the ball, they already have somebody in their face. Roydell Williams won us the game today. That's all.
He put on the clink there late.
Yeah, he did.
Texas is in a dogfight, Jonathan. What's up with that? The Cowboys, man, they already beat Texas Tech. Now they're going to beat Texas?
If Wyoming beats Texas Tech in Texas, oh my gosh, bro.
Maybe we should give them an invite to the SEC.
They beat a pretty good team a couple of years ago in one of their bowl games. I forgot what it was. Who it was. There we go. There's our first. Needs to stop the show.
Let me ask you something. Did you hear about the whole Lincoln Riley interview this past week?
Yeah.
Basically saying that Oklahoma fans trying to break in his house and stuff.
And
I got a question to you, man. Why would he wait 2 years to bring that up?
This man cannot keep Oklahoma out of his mouth. At least once a week. I would say once a week, once every other week. It's something about Oklahoma. It's like the dude wants to come back to Oklahoma. If you're going to sit here and talk about Oklahoma all the time, you might as well just say you want to come back. I wouldn't accept him back. No way, shape, or form. I don't care what you think the future is with OU, but yeah. Jesus, man.
I just don't. It's like I told him, I mean, the USC Skittleship fans that come in here and say, oh, we're living rent free in your head. I'm like, I'm not talking about y'all. y'all bring up Oklahoma and other teams. Lincoln Riley comes in there and he's talking about other teams, and he's concentrating on USC and the fact that they're recruiting each and every year. Starts out fast and it just peters out at the end. And now Oklahoma's passed them again in recruiting, third year in a row. And he made the infamous statement of you couldn't recruit to Oklahoma. And now USC has slipped down to 27th in recruiting in some polls.
Yeah. Lincoln Riley, I don't know. I didn't know how to explain that situation. You already know what I thought about it. It was a snake of him to leave. The way he left was terrible. The whole situation was terrible. We've already talked about this 100 times. All I know is at the end of the day, it looks like Oklahoma's going to most likely get the better deal, in my opinion, one way or another, because the guy clearly didn't want to be there, in my opinion.
A lot of the Sooner fans have been asking me if they got a fundraiser going, if we would come to the Alabama-Oklahoma game. They paid for our ticket.
Oh, I'd definitely go. I may go to the Red River rivalry, whatever. I've heard it called multiple things, but the Oklahoma-Texas game this year, Dallas is only 3.5 hours away from me.
It was originally called the Red River Shootout, and then, of course,
they moved it.
The little butthurt people out there took the name off because they said it was too violent.
I said moved it. I was going to say something else, but yeah, you're right.
Yeah, well, they I think they used to play. Didn't they used to play the game later in the day, and they moved it to the 11 o'clock kickoff to keep them from getting drunk at night?
No, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, Oklahoma fans. I thought it was always at noon because of the fair. It's a state fair or whatever it's called. I've heard about it. I've been so close to it so many times. I never went to the game, but I believe is it the state fair? And I believe that's why it's always played at that time. Like I said, I could be wrong on that one, though. But I know it's fair.
If y'all don't mind, you can jump out of the chat and smash the like button and maybe the share button as well. And if you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button as well as the bell, because if you hit the bell and the subscribe button to notify you, we also have a little $sign at the bottom of this video if you want to get your comment highlighted and pushed to the top where I can see it quicker. That way we can read it out and respond to it a lot quicker.
Anyway, so I guess it's been played at 3:30, like it was brought up in the chat. So, and then the State Fair of Texas, that's it. I knew it was something like that. I've never went, so I wasn't 100% sure. But it says can't have a night game as per the city. Oh, wow, Dallas. I did not know that. That's wild.
Yeah. Well, some people told me that it was the State Fair, and it was also because they were afraid that there would be a lot of fighting and killing going on if it was played at night.
Wouldn't surprise me. But remember, you can't recruit to Oklahoma. Exactly, Teresa. Exactly.
So who's going to start next week for Alabama? I mean, we've had 3 quarterbacks now. We've seen 3 quarterbacks. Jalen Milroe had the first 2 games, and he basically shit the bed against Texas, just like he did against Texas A&M last year. Every time he plays a tough team, he's a turnover machine. And then you, of course, had the situation today with the 2 quarterbacks. Who do you think is going to start?
All right, I'm going to make this, as usual, a very long and complicated answer, as I usually do with these. I believe who has performed the best so far, if you look at statistically, it's going to be Jalen Milroe. So most people would say put Jalen Milroe back in because your offensive line sucks. He gives you the best chance to escape the pocket, blah, 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 right? And I wouldn't argue that point at all. Buckner, in my opinion, is completely out of the equation. The dude clearly – he's just a no-go. Like, he looked lost today. I believe he was brought over. He was a holdover from Tommy Rees coming over from Notre Dame. He brought him over as a favor. I could be wrong on that, whatever. That's just my personal opinion. But if I'm talking long-term future, I'm talking Ty Simpson. The guy throws a better ball. He's going to be more accurate, and he plays more of what you have set up right now, right? So I know a lot of people are going to be saying I'm wrong because – what did Ty Simpson do today? Well, he actually, if you go back and watch the film, he managed the game better than anybody has so far this year. No turnovers. He's converted. Like he's doing what he's supposed to do according to Nick Saban's philosophy, right? Which is do your job and that's it. So, and I know, like I said, a lot of people are going to see the flash. They're going to say the offensive line, but I'm looking down the road and I'm looking next year even. And I don't think Jalen Milroe is going to beat Alabama next year. And he shouldn't be. He should go somewhere where he starts. I do believe he deserves to be a starter, but maybe not at Alabama because this offense that Tommy Rees not brought over, but he's kind of merged with mainly what Alabama already does, because Alabama says you adopt our system. But today was obvious that Tommy Rees brought in some of his wrinkles into this offense. So people can say it's all Alabama and they merge with them. It's kind of BS. You saw some of Tommy Rees's wrinkles from Notre Dame come in today, which is why I thought they brought in Buckner today, because him merging that system over and having those wrinkles for Notre Dame would have placated towards Buckner when it didn't at all. So, in fact, it actually went against him, and it looked better for Ty Simpson than anybody. So I think Tommy Rees accidentally pushed Buckner out of the conversation altogether and exposed Ty Simpson to looking better than Buckner did. And I think the long-term option is going to be Ty Simpson. And so I think he'll start next week.
Yeah, I think you may be right. Like you said, if you don't, I think it'll go back to Jalen Milroe. I think Buckner had his shot once again.
Yeah.
He basically blew it. I think he might as well just go ahead and get ready to either transfer. He probably can't transfer. It's probably his last year being able to play quarterback at any institution, right?
Yeah. Well, no, you can probably transfer again, but Buckner's not going to go anywhere. He's not, in my opinion, he's not an NFL quarterback. He's going to be comfortable. He's going to graduate, get his degree at University of Alabama, and just placate the system he's in right now. So, which is smart. I don't blame him for doing that at all. There's nothing wrong with being a third or fourth string quarterback, getting your degree and just riding the wave out when you know you're not going to be in that class. So that's just me, though.
You had a nice comparison. You compared him to a former Alabama quarterback that was decent, pretty good quarterback that won a few national championships out there.
Talking about Ty Simpson, right?
That's right.
Yeah, he definitely reminds me a lot of A.J. McCarron. When you go back and look at young A.J. McCarron, even the build on him is the same. The way he throws the ball, he throws a high ball, right? He has really great touch. That's what I like about him. He definitely reads the defense. And in case you didn't notice, I believe I didn't see Buckner do it. Ty Simpson is the only quarterback I've seen this year, including Jalen Milroe, by the way, actually make checks and audibles on the field, right, with the offensive line and the receivers. I haven't seen Jalen Milroe do it all year, and I didn't see Buckner do it. So clearly there's something there with Ty Simpson. He knows the system a little bit better probably than the other two because he's more familiar, including high school, with it than they are. But I don't know. Like I said, I think the smart, if you're looking at long term, maybe you'll take a couple of losses with this, with him and Ty Simpson in. But I think in the grand scheme of things. But if you say Jalen Milroe, I wouldn't argue that at all either because, I mean, I don't know what else to say other than he has outperformed everybody statistically. So I don't tend to argue points.
To change the subject just a little bit, I just thought of something. I think Oklahoma, if I'm not mistaken, I may be wrong about this. I might have to look up their schedule. But they play on the road at Cincinnati, I think, next week, right?
That I don't know. I'm sure the fans can tell you got enough of them in here. Florida's about to beat Tennessee.
Who do y'all play next week? Sooner Nation, I know there's a bunch of y'all in here. Cincinnati beat Pittsburgh in week 1, but I was just wondering what you thought about that. You think maybe that it's going to be a test for Oklahoma? That
No.
Cincinnati first game in the
No.
Big 12, they beat Pittsburgh.
They're going to blow them out.
They're going to blow them out. Well,
They're
they
gonna
did
blow
struggle with SMU last week. So
SMU's not, but look, SMU's got some dogs. That's the difference. SMU's got some good players. I do know that. So I think they're going to blow them out.
says it's Cincinnati. Cincinnati, yes. And it's on the road. I didn't understand that. I don't understand why Oklahoma or Texas, either one, would have to play a road game against the new teams they brought in. They shouldn't have to play them because they're not going to get a return home game because they're leaving for the SEC next year.
Yeah, it is what it is.
That's an update here. Florida has a 7-point lead in the ball with 2 minutes left by Tennessee. So Florida basically had a 26-7 lead, and they almost blew it.
Arkansas and BYU is tied right now.
They don't spot it.
Mighty,
Like
bro.
you said with SMU, I think SMU, they got their invite to get back sort of in the big time. I don't know how long the ACC is really going to be around, but they're in the ACC now. And I think when they played Oklahoma, that was, the week of that, and maybe they had a little something to prove that, they do belong.
Wyoming's driving and about to score on Texas.
Well.
Let's see here. Game.
Well, I thought Texas was back, man. Didn't they say they were back? I thought they were
haven't
back.
lost yet. They haven't lost yet, so let's not do that. But
I know, right? But I think Alabama and Texas must have beat the shit out of each other or something because
they did. That was a physical game. You watched the game. That was a very physical game.
South Alabama was up on Oklahoma State 23-0 at halftime. Now, I don't know what the score is now, but it seems that Okie Pokey State is getting their ass handed to them by South Alabama.
What?
Now, South Alabama did almost beat UCLA last year. They had them beat. UCLA beat them with a last-second field goal. South Alabama seems like it might be a program that's on the rise.
South Alabama. Look at that. Not Troy. I thought Troy would be
Mobile's not a bad destination, is it? That's a nice city.
Okay. Let's not be – no.
What, you don't like Mobile?
I do not like Mobile. I drove through Mobile many times on 231.
What the hell? You don't like Mobile for, man? Down there close to the beach.
Mobile is – look, it's just not a good city. Let's not do that.
How's it Mobile's a good city, but Orange Beach is?
I didn't say that.
I mean, that's what most people say, though. They say –
I don't know why they say that. They must have never been anywhere else before.
Orange Beach it's nice. I've been there a few times. But Mobile don't really have a beach, but they're on the ocean, right?
Yeah.
I guess it's because they're down in that nasty-ass bay.
See here. So Mobile is close to Destin at least. Yeah, I'll give you that. Closer
Also, real quick, you'll see some people coming up here with these little badges. Like J.D. Wilmot's got his badge. Danny don't have his badge. Hank does. Hank's got a badge. Texas is broke back, he says. That badge is for the Outlaw Posse membership. If you want to get your badge and get deputized, it's not $2.99 a month, 75 cents a week. Get that. Get your random Four Horsemen shout out, as well as possibly be the comment of the day on a podcast whenever I do one again. I've been doing a lot of live streams here lately. But we got 4 new members in the Outlaw Posse, so I got to get their recognition going.
I like what Danny says below it. Bama and Texas are both not great. I 100% agree.
That might be a very, very astute point.
Yeah. Texas is not good, and Alabama is not good. I think people just don't want to admit it. Like, even as an Alabama fan, it hurts me. We're not – when Texas beat us, I didn't want to congratulate him because I'm like, you beat a terrible Alabama team, and you tried to give us the game in the first half 15 times.
Well, I mean,
so
you give up 24 points to a terrible quarterback.
Like, I don't know. 33-7 South Alabama with a win. They beat Oklahoma State. Gundy's gone.
I mean, they ain't just beat them. They beat the shit out of them, man.
So fold the tide. I like that.
What's that?
The comment, fold the tide.
Fold the tide, huh? What you gonna fold us up for, Corey? You think we're done, brother? Never count Alabama out, man. I've seen numerous times where Alabama, look really crappy against a very inferior team. I mean, I can even go back to 1992 when we won the national championship. We played Louisiana Tech, and we were only up 6-0 going into the fourth quarter, and we had to have a David Palmer punt return for a touchdown. Put that game out of reach, beat them 13-0, Louisiana Tech. And then we went on to beat Miami 34-13. So,
well, I can tell you this much. There's a chance we don't beat Ole Miss this week. That's what I'm saying.
yeah, well, we're going to have to get that quarterback situation out. But a saving grace might be the fact they're eat up with injuries at the skill positions, from what I'm understanding.
Like, I'll be happy if we make it to a New Year's Bowl.
When is our week off?
I don't know. We need a year off.
We need one right now.
Oh man, like I'm not on. And we're not. How many years have we complained about injuries? We're littered with injuries, right? And right first or 2 games, right, of the season. This year we almost have no injuries, and we can't get it right. So yeah.
Boy, Brogdon says, "Hey, Outlaw, we're gonna beat y'all next year. We have Stone and all the other defensive guys." Okay, y'all might. I mean, it's
I'm
been
not
known to happen. Alabama does lose a game occasionally. It does happen. I mean, ask Texas. We do lose every once in a while. Y'all better beat us. If y'all don't, Texas is going to have something over you.
Dude, we were down 3-0 to South Florida at halftime.
Yeah, but didn't you hear what Saban said?
No, we were playing good.
Man, you can't question a God like that, man. That's the God of college football.
In all seriousness, is the SEC down this year?
Hell yeah. I mean, look at everybody that played. Florida got their ass handed to them by Utah. And then turn around after they got their ass handed to them by Utah and handed Tennessee their ass.
Yeah.
Georgia struggled with who was that?
South Carolina.
Well, yeah, they struggled with South Carolina, but they're another SEC team. But I'm saying they've struggled against UT Martin for a little while, and Tennessee only beat Austin Peay 30-13. LSU got the shit beat out of them by Florida State. Texas A&M got the hell beat out of them by Miami.
Like, this is horrible.
It's like Bizarro World or some shit.
Yeah.
But every year you can, the SEC can't be the premier conference every year. We're going to have a year like this every once in a while.
No, I know.
What do you think about the rumors that Nick Saban might be retiring after this year?
I think it's bogus, as usual.
You know what I heard? I heard if they did get rid of him and if Brent Venables does a really good job this year.
Shut up. That man is never leaving Oklahoma.
They said Brent Venables is going to pull a Lincoln Riley.
No.
He's going to split and go to Alabama.
He's really trying to get to you guys now. No,
I'm just aggravating them a little bit, see what they'll say.
I believe Venables is going to be like a Kirby Smart at Georgia. Like, he's not going. He found his place.
Well, that's not his alma mater now.
I know it's not his alma mater, but I believe Venables, that is his place. Look at how much the fans love him, how much he loves Oklahoma. It seems like it's meant to be. So I
always thought that Lincoln Riley got that job in a suspicious manner because Bob Stoops stepped down at a weird time. It was like after the spring game when he stepped down. You just don't see that.
Yeah.
I just thought that was really, really odd. All this ugly football is setting up perfectly for programs like Texas and the Skittle Shitters to make the college football playoff. They better take advantage of it. How is Con Time doing right now?
Game just started.
I got the scoreboard right here.
Colorado State's about to score on them, though.
Who?
Colorado State's about to score on Colorado. Did someone throw an interception, or is it the other way around? Why is it showing Colorado State having the ball? Or do they have the ball?
Can you see that? Is it too small?
Hang on. I got it up on my I got it up on mine. The Gamecast. Yeah, they got intercepted, so Colorado State is in Colorado's end of the field.
You mean
Shedeur Sanders got intercepted.
Shaka Zulu Sanders threw an interception?
You're so ridiculous.
What's his name again?
Shedeur.
Oh, my bad. Sorry.
Come on.
Mistake.
Did you not see all their cool sunglasses they got?
Yeah. Dion, man, he made a little veiled threat, said that after the game that, we're going to see what happens when the handshake comes. What do you think about that?
You better not lose this game.
I think if I was the Colorado coach, I would go up and directly kick him in the nuts. I wouldn't give him a chance to do a damn thing.
Oh, man. Let's see here.
So we got some updates here. Florida beat Tennessee by 13. Michigan's up on Bowling Green 31-6. Ole Miss 27-17 over Georgia Tech. Wyoming and Texas is in a knockdown drag out, just like South Alabama not South Alabama, but South Florida and Alabama. Did you see that 61-yard field goal by Missouri?
Dude, that is wild. To win the game.
Yeah.
I don't blame him for rushing the field. I don't care who you're beating. The 61-yard game winner, come on now. That
longest
deserves
field goal made in SEC history.
Really?
Yep.
To win the game on top of that. You know, Alabama threw for 107 yards.
Hey, man, they got to 100. What do you expect, man? They're still learning. Oklahoma beat the shit out of Tulsa, 66-17. Ohio State beat Western Kentucky. UCLA, well, we figured that one. Washington destroyed Michigan State. I think that whole controversy with Mel Tucker is really affecting that team. What do you think?
What is it?
Mel Tucker.
Oh, God, that's a freaking disaster. Yeah, I don't have anything to say really on that, man, other than how quick that turned around on Michigan State. Kenneth Walker, right, like being such a good running back, leading them. I think they won like 10 or 11 games that season. Mel Tucker gets a huge contract, massive contract, and then allegations. I'm not gonna, you know me, I don't speak on that stuff too much until the facts come out because that's a touchy subject.
Yeah, what's so crazy is the woman he actually sexually harassed was there for sexual harassment. Like she was a representative for women that have been victimized by sexual harassment. She was an advocate for that. And he chose her, an advocate for sexual harassment. I'm like, how stupid can you be, man? Damn, man. Can't find someone else to sexually harass?
Wow.
Man, you could have let him borrow one of your women, man. You got so many down there.
Oh, so stupid. I got a question for you. What do you think? Have you been paying attention to Oregon State at all?
They beat San Diego State today.
They're 3-0. DJ is looking all right.
Well, it's probably because he was in Dabo's arms, man. It don't look like Dabo's doing too good once he started losing coordinators like Alabama. Looks like he's going downhill quite a bit. Although I will say Virginia probably made a dumb hire by hiring his offensive coordinator because they're winless.
Yeah.
J.D. Wilmoth says you got it all wrong, Outlaw. It's not going to be Venables that's going to Alabama. It's going to be Coach Gundy.
That's funny.
I'm a man. I'm 54. I'm a man. I'm 55.
Oh, man, you come at me.
I'm a man. I'm glad he told us he was a man, though, because, I mean, that long-ass mullet sometimes, he looks like one of them transgenders.
Jesse Wilson is 100% correct. Florida State got lucky today. Man. Oh.
Florida State got lucky today?
They won about, what, 2 or 3?
Oh, yeah, they barely beat Boston College. Boston College had like 18 penalties.
Yeah.
They cost themselves that game. Boston College should have won that game.
Oh, so Kansas State goes down. Man, it's just – you're right, though. It was a terrible day for football. Like, it garbage across the board, essentially, outside of, like, the blowouts with Oklahoma and Tulsa. You're an Oklahoma fan. Another one. Duke is 3-0.
Yeah.
Won the day. Handle it.
Lloyd Brogdon wants to know how far I live from Chatsworth. I don't even know where I guess I assume that's in Oklahoma, right? Chatsworth, Oklahoma. Is that right?
I guess we'll see.
I mean, Jonathan's probably a lot closer to you than I am. He's probably in San Antonio. He's in San Antonio.
San Antonio. Chatsworth? Let me see here. I'm assuming he's talking about Oklahoma or no?
If y'all don't mind, pop out of the chat.
Georgia.
Already and hit the like button. The like button helps push this live stream out with the algorithm and whatnot. Also, hit the share button if you want to share it with your friends. And if you hadn't subscribed yet, hit the subscribe button and the bell so you get notified. And if you want to get your comment highlighted, here at the bottom, there's a little dollar sign. Hit that. It'll highlight your comment, push it to the top. We got so many comments in here right now, I can't see them all. So just hit that little dollar sign. You can give 2, 5, 10, however, how many characters you want to do.
Chatsworth is northern Georgia.
Northern Georgia.
Yeah, it's like almost, I wouldn't say straight above Atlanta, but quite a bit. It's northern Georgia. It's was it southeast of Chattanooga?
Okay. Well, that's not too far from me then. I'm about 3 hours probably from there.
Yeah, you're about 3.5 hours from there. Because you're about an hour from where I lived in Anniston. So.
This right here I agree with. Dabo needs to hop off his pedestal and use the portal.
It don't matter. It don't matter. That man, he's done.
He's coming to Alabama, right?
I screamed it for years. For the past, 4 years? All these Alabama fans, we should bring over Dabo. I'm like, you guys are crazy.
I'm serious. I don't remember being celebrated big time. I'm not sure. What are you talking about being celebrated?
I think they're talking to each other back and forth in the chat.
Wyoming just tied Texas, according to Steelguard.
Yeah, Miami's 3-0, by the way. Tyler Van Dyke good with Miami.
Corey's our long hook 'em horn in here. Ain't nobody worried about Wyoming. Well, you better start worrying, brother. 10-10. Let me tell you something. If y'all win this game, y'all going to be just like Alabama next week. If I'm a poll voter, I would drop Alabama and Texas this week. I would drop Alabama further down, probably about 14th.
I'd drop them around 15, 16.
Yeah, you're probably right. I would drop Texas to about number 7 if they continue to struggle.
It depends on where they end up in the game. It's so early.
Jesse Wilson seems to think that the portal has evened the playing field against teams like Alabama.
I don't agree with that at all. I think the NIL is still a major factor in that. The transfer portal has helped, but the bigger schools are going to still get the bigger NIL deals. And well, it's not the schools that are getting it, but it's the schools that are getting it. Come on, it's just another way around it. I'm not going to say Alabama's going to dominate, but I'm saying the same schools are probably going to dominate. So.
Levi thinks that Oklahoma needs Texas to win, so it would help Oklahoma out when they beat Texas. I never know it's to root for a horn. It'd be like me rooting for Auburn.
That's not ever going to happen.
Yeah, I would root for Auburn if it meant Alabama going to the playoffs or something, I reckon.
Even then. So what do you think about – what do you and everybody in the chat think about Colorado? Are they for – like when I mean are they for real, I mean are they a legit – that we'll say top 15 team, right? Top 15. Obviously, I don't think they're a playoff team, but top 15.
Right now, by the record, you have to put them in the top 15. If they beat Colorado State, I think it'd be pretty funny if they weren't able to win their state after all that smack talk they've done. I hope Colorado State wins that game. I'd be interested to see a handshake they've been talking about. It's coming.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. It's just Deion, man. I think he's his own worst enemy.
Don't think of Deion.
I think he started out a little fast, and people were a little misled by TCU and Nebraska.
Okay.
TCU's overrated. TCU's give up 155 points their last 3 games.
Yeah.
They look like a fluke against Georgia, and they lost to Colorado. So, and they give up They gave up a lot of points to Colorado. So, yeah. And then Nebraska. We all know Nebraska hadn't been Nebraska for about 20 or 25 years. So,
yeah,
Nebraska couldn't even score
since Osborne.
I'd be interested to see what happens when they play Oregon. That'll be the real litmus.
They're going to get, in my opinion, they're going to get routed by Oregon. That's just my opinion. Only because Oregon is humming right now on offense. And Colorado's defense, Travis Hunter can have 3 picks. Just like he did the last game, he had a pick. They're still going to put up 50 points, 60 points. It's going to come up with that offense. And I think they're top 25, but I still think they're going to end up losing 4 games this year easily. I think the Oregon is going to be a loss. Do they play USC?
Yes.
There's going to do what?
They do play USC.
Yeah, I believe they'll definitely lose to USC. I believe they'll lose to Oregon State.
I think in playing Travis Hunter as much as he does 2 ways is going to end up hurting him.
No, they have a pretty good team. Don't get me wrong. If you look at last year's Colorado team to this year, it's night and day. Obviously, he's moved over 80 transfers plus recruits. So I mean, it's a completely different team. It looks way better, but I mean, I don't want to. I think people are jumping the gun on this whole they're back, like as in they're going to be competing.
Speaking of Colorado,
Yeah. But I do believe they're going to win the games they should probably win. I mean, when you look at the talent against Nebraska and TCU, they have more talent than both. TCU lost everybody, man. Like to the draft. Like TCU is breaking in a lot of people. Like Nebraska is, well, they're Nebraska. Colorado, you know what I mean? So it's going to be interesting to see when the talent lines up to somewhere equal terms, right? To what happens. The coaching aspect comes in. That's when I'm going to be interested to watch it. So
Jesse Wilson says he has Colorado winning 4 or 5 games this year at most.
he said I had Colorado winning. In other words, he thinks more now. Maybe is what I'm getting with that.
I don't know. I'm still thinking 4 or 5 myself.
Like they'll only win 4 or 5.
That's right.
Really? I think they'll win at least 6.
Think so?
I think they'll win 6. 6 is, but you have once again though, man. Like they went 1-11 last year, correct? Like something like that, 1-10, whatever it was, 1-11. To turn around and just go, if you go 6-6, you know how much of a turnaround that is? It's night and day.
That's what 5 times as many wins as they had last year.
Yeah. Colorado interception touchdown.
What?
Someone commented Colorado interception touchdown.
Colorado State or Colorado?
I don't know. Not sure. I'm not watching the game. I should put it on my TV behind me.
Hank, I guess, is asking you for a Cincinnati score. Oklahoma, Cincinnati.
Oh, let me see here. Give me a minute. I have to think about that. I need to look up this.
Well, if Cincinnati hadn't beat Pittsburgh, then I would have thought maybe Cincinnati was going to be weak this year, but they did beat Pittsburgh, so they're not as weak as I thought they were originally.
Isn't Pitt getting? Are they losing to West Virginia right now?
Are they? I hope they are for Kuz's sake. Oh, Kuz has been missing you too, by the way.
Yeah, I gotta get on there. Shiloh Sanders with pick 6, so it looks like Colorado's going to be up 7-0. Prime Sun pick 6.
Damn, man, he had to let his damn son score on me, man.
Yeah.
They're hearing that shit after the game.
So Mike says OU 48, Cincinnati 21. I'm around that. I'm honestly around that prediction.
I agree with JD. When they start losing, people will start jumping off that bandwagon. I just think they'll probably have people making excuses for them.
Yeah. And I do like what Jesse said, too. It was hard to judge Colorado because there's so many different players coming in. It is. It's, man, you're talking about such a massive transformation of people coming in. It's almost, it's bigger than what the biggest was done previously, which was Michigan State, right, with Mel. So, like, it's gonna be an interesting season with them. Yeah, right there. Yep. I'm out of my gifted drinks. Now I'm out of alcohol.
Oh, man. You only have one?
I had 2.
That just wet your taste buds there.
Yeah.
Need to go get a bottle of tequila, man.
I got a bottle of Goose back there, vodka. Since he's pissing down my leg. Mike Penix for Heisman. Yeah, that dude is for real.
Lori said there's no score yet on the Colorado TV.
Washington's the real. That's another team. If Colorado plays Washington, not beating them. Michael Penix is, yeah. Yeah, I'm drinking vodka. Yeah, I always have vodka. That's my go-to.
That she gives me a headache.
Vodka does? Oh man.
Yeah, I have to stick with tequila, man. I really like Patron, but it's now I don't make as much money as some of y'all. So
no beer here, only Mountain Dew. Now I drink Mountain Dew when I'm not drinking beer or.
Actually, Mountain Dew's worse for you than beer because all the sugar in it.
Got like 76 grams of sugar in them.
It's like Mountain Dew and Snickers is like a diabetic coma for me.
Yeah.
I did have me some pizza today. I sort of cheated.
Take your metformin.
I did.
Texas just went up on Wyoming 17-10. Yeah, I believe Texas is going to pull away. They have. It's Wyoming.
Texas is having that hangover effect that we had. I think that's might be some of that played into that too. And we're coming off a big game and beat up a lot. Players probably beat up pretty good after that game, and I'm sure the Texas players were beat up after that game as well because we were laying some hits on them. We just wasn't getting to the quarterback.
Yeah,
that's another thing, man. I mean, it don't seem like we put a lot of pressure on the quarterback.
Yeah.
Why aren't we getting pressure on the quarterback, you think?
Well, this week we got pressure on. You're talking about against Texas or
yeah, Texas?
Texas had dude. Their whole O-line came back from last year. Texas O-line has a lot more experience, and our game plan against Texas on the defensive side of the ball is freaking horrible. Like Dallas Turner pulled out like to actually play like his linebacker position quite a few times versus trying to take in the edge. I believe Texas was a game we needed to figure out what went wrong on the defensive side of the ball because a lot went good, a lot went bad. Right, Terrion Arnold looked really good at times, and he looked really bad at times, and the situations were 180s. So I really do think, like I said, I really like our defense. I know a lot of people are going to rag on me for saying that because Texas scored on us, but our defense was put in a bunch of bad situations from our offense. Jalen Milroe having those 2 deep interceptions, that was gifted 10 points right away. I mean, it should have been 14 points if you look at it. So, in my opinion, our defense they held up really well for how much time they were on the field. So,
Corey's sort of making the same point I was making. Both Alabama and Texas, and it's obvious by how they're struggling with Wyoming tonight that both of them probably beat up pretty bad.
Yeah, you're right on that. I mean, that was an extremely physical game.
Although I will admit I would rather had struggled with Wyoming than South Florida. You know, South Florida won one game last year against Howard. Wyoming beat Texas Tech this year, so it's not really that much of a shame to struggle with Wyoming.
It's one thing to struggle. We were down 3-0 at halftime.
Oklahoma's going to beat Cincinnati 35-20.
I'm going to say 45-24.
45-24, Oklahoma.
Oklahoma.
I think Oklahoma has Iowa State after that, maybe. I don't know.
So,
do they have a week off before that game? I wonder.
I haven't even looked at the bye weeks yet. So Corey Baker states, I like what he says. Milroe also threw 2 TDs that was called back. But if you dive into that, and I keep telling people this, you have to look at the plays. Why one of those was called back was because the lineman was down the field, right? Why? Because you don't know. The lineman can't predict when Milroe is going to take off. And you can't tell these guys just to sit in pass protection when he's running around. Otherwise, he can't run around. That's the confusion I think people aren't getting out of this whole Milroe thing is Milroe is so unpredictable on what he does, whether he's going to take off or even he'll go to take off and stop. And the linemen, they don't know to stop running down the field if he takes off running because he'll just stop and then throw the ball. Like it causes a lot of issues when you have inconsistent play like that. I think that's the big thing with Milroe. If he could at least get that under control, I think we'd look a lot better. But the dude was running into sacks, right? He had a good pocket around him occasionally, and he would just bolt for no reason and just run into a tackler. It's like, man, like, dude.
Yeah, well, you know, Kirk Herbstreit sort of alluded to that. He said that why is he leaving the pocket? It's not collapsing.
Exactly.
He's leaving the pocket, and there's no reason to leave the pocket. But he's leaving the pocket anyway.
So, I mean.
You got us a donation. Marty King says, roll tide anyway. $5 donation. Appreciate the hell out of that, Marty King. See what we got here.
How you going to celebrate a Tulsa win?
What's that?
Corey Baker, how are you going to celebrate a Tulsa win? Oh, that's good.
Well, it's like this. They did what they were supposed to do. I mean, they beat the shit out of who was that they played the first week?
Talking about Oklahoma.
Yeah, Oklahoma beat the hell out of somebody the first week. There was
Yeah.
Arkansas State. They made Butch Jones cry. We all know Butch Jones is a little unhinged. He talks to his dead father in random spots at the stadium.
I've
Y'all
never.
done cost Butch Jones his job again, man. Y'all done cost him his job once before, man. Y'all mean to Butch Jones. And then they beat the shit out of Tulsa. Did Alabama and Texas beat the hell out of the teams they were supposed to beat the hell out of today? No, they didn't.
Dude, Bryce Wayne, I can't even answer that for you, man. He said, who y'all seeing making the SEC championship game right now? Georgia has to come out of the East. Florida got tore up by Utah. Then they beat Tennessee. It's so wide open right now. It's stupid. LSU gets mollywopped by Florida State. Like, I don't know. This is one of the most wide open SEC races I can't think of. Like, it's been a long time since I've seen it like this. And we got too many fat people on the O-line they can't move. Actually, it's not the guys in the middle. Caden Proctor, I'll give you that. Caden Proctor on the left side for sure. Booker and all those guys, no, that's not an issue with them. But Proctor, yeah.
Jesse Wilson was also asking earlier who you thought was going to win the SEC this year.
It's got to be Georgia.
Still a wide open, probably. I mean, South Carolina gets people hope today.
But who's going to beat Georgia? You get what I'm saying? Like that's the problem. This is such a down year for the SEC, I think.
Well, the entire SEC reminds me of the SEC East back when Missouri was winning it. It's like people, who's going to win the East? We don't know. Anybody can win it. Missouri won it back to back.
Yeah.
The SEC's that way this year. Like you're saying, man, it's just like nobody looks that great. I mean, Tennessee just got housed by Florida, who got housed by Utah. So
yeah, because of all that, though, you have to say Georgia's the top. But after that, it's like it's a shit show at best.
That's what I'm saying. Georgia's going to win it by default.
Like, I mean, I don't know. Arkansas, are they beating BYU? What's going on with that game? They were tied a minute ago. Like, nobody looks good. Like, what did Ole Miss do? Let me look at Ole Miss.
They were beating Georgia Tech.
Well, yeah, I know that, but like, who did they play in their first game? They beat Mercer 73-7. There you go.
Colorado State scored. What's the score in that game? What is it? 7-7 now?
Really? 7-7. Colorado State scored. So,
by the way, the Gov is one of the newest Outlaw Posse members. He's got his badge. So I'm gonna give y'all a shout out on the next podcast. The Gov. I got 4 people coming in to the Outlaw Posse in the next podcast. I don't even know if I'm gonna do podcasts anymore. I'm starting what I like these live streams, man.
live streams are fun. I like them.
I mean, you can actually directly react with everybody. It's like you're really talking to them in real time, you know.
It says Corey Baker says you're gonna be mad if them Trojans make it to the playoffs.
Well,
I don't think anybody's gonna be mad right now. I mean, the Pac-12, they have a lot of good teams. Don't be so quick to think USC is just gonna make it. Oregon looks good in my opinion. Washington looks good in my opinion. Like, Oregon State looks good in my opinion. I think they have quite a few teams there that look good. So
I just don't think the Skittle shitters have enough defense to make it to the playoffs.
If you go by the track record, Alex Grinch will have a game where they completely collapse. You know what I mean? It always tends to happen. Can he break the mold? USC fans are hoping, obviously.
Well, I did shut down Stanford, but Stanford. You know, Stanford's a pop shot, man. You never know what you get with Stanford. One year they're 2-10. Next year they're 8-4.
I think the big one's going to be probably Washington with Michael Penix. Michael Penix. He's a dog.
No, I won't be mad, but you might be mad if they make it in over Texas.
So both teams, one's scored off a pick six, and the other one's a scoop and score. Jesus.
Man, it sounds like Shadur shit in the bed. I'll start calling him shit the bed
Crypt Keeper's on here, bro. What's going on, man?
You know Crypt Keeper?
Oh, yeah, he was on mine all the time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I probably sponged him off of you then.
yeah. He used to call me Greenbow.
Greenbow. How you been, buddy? What do they call you Greenbow for? Is that where Forrest Gump's from?
Well, yeah, you know that.
There you go. You a Gump.
Travis Hunter fumbled. I don't think he could fumble. Come on now. Let's see here.
35-10. You changing your score already? CSU scooping score, says Hank. Go Rams. Oh, man. It's going to be like WWE after the game's over.
Yeah, no, if USC makes it, they will just lose. Yeah. I'm not going to argue that. You don't sometimes want to be that team. Ask TCU.
Well, hell, Oklahoma got it 1 year from LSU.
Dude, that TCU game last year against Georgia, look, I would not want to be on the field, bro.
That's embarrassing, man. And I was mad at TCU because I wanted to watch a national championship game. I'm sitting down, I'm watching a game you would see on the SEC network for a homecoming game.
Yeah. I actually don't have a pro team. I watch NFL. Bryce Wayne asked, I got a pro team you root for? I watch them, but I don't have a team I root for specifically. Colorado winning now? No, if you go down Bryce Wayne, the comment he made.
Okay. I should make it to where you can click on.
Nah, maybe next time.
Travis Hunter fumble. Well, Mr. Heisman Trophy candidate done shit to bed. Ain't that amazing? CSU scooping score 14-7. Man, I'm going to grill the shit out of Big Yon if he loses this game, man. I'm going to throw con time on the grill.
Jesse, Redskins fan. You don't mind me asking, so you're in Washington. How did you become a Redskins fan? Are you in Washington or no? Because Jesse's a Washington fan, right?
Who?
Jesse Wilson.
She says she is.
Yeah.
She still calls them the Redskins. She don't call them the Commanders.
But I know what she's talking about.
Yeah, exactly. They shouldn't change the name.
Yeah, I live in Alabama. Oh, okay, you live in Alabama. Gotcha.
She probably watched them back in the old days when they had hell, I don't know how old she is. I shouldn't be assuming, right?
See here, Colorado State winning.
I live in Tuscaloosa, Alabama myself, Jesse. So I don't know if you're here in Tuscaloosa or what. What pro team do we root for? I'm not a big NFL guy. I used to watch it occasionally. I used to really like the New Orleans Saints.
The Saints for you.
But when they got crab legs, what's his name?
Jameis Winston.
Yeah. They got old crab legs, stealing ass Winston on the team, man. I can't stomach people like that, man. And he got off that rape that he done. They threw all the phones away and covered it up, Jimbo Fisher style. But I used to be a New Orleans Saints. Back in the day when I was a kid growing up, I was a Philadelphia Eagle fan. I used to like Randall Cunningham. I don't know if y'all remember him or not.
Yeah.
I used to play this game called Super Tecmo Bowl on
Oh, my God, bro.
Nintendo. And I'd always pick that team because I could just run the quarterback, man, and just run up a bunch of yards. Did y'all ever play Super Tecmo Bowl? Did you ever play Super Tecmo Bowl?
Oh, I did. Serious?
I'd whoop your ass in some Super Tecmo Bowl.
No. One of my all-time favorites was you're gonna love this. Sega Genesis, Deion Sanders Prime Time. I knew you would like that, but that's a game I actually had.
You said what now?
On Sega Genesis, Deion Sanders Prime Time.
Shit.
This is one of my favorite games.
Sell it to me. I'll use it as a prop.
Oh, man.
I won't snort on it. I'll just shoot a booger on it every once in a while. See how he likes that shit. By the way, Jesse Wilson is a guy. Sorry, Jesse. I saw the I in there. You know, most females that have the name Jesse spell their name with an I, so that's why I
That's
said
what you get for assuming.
I know, right? As the old phrase go, you seem to make an ass out of you and me.
Yeah. Oh man.
Monroeville. You out in the sticks then, ain't you? You raised up around Jonathan. Jonathan lives out in the sticks in Anniston.
I did.
Oh, he did, yeah. He done disowned all of us. He took off to San Antonio.
It disowned.
He don't love us no more. He don't never come home and see us.
Once every couple of years. This thing is, it's on my shirt here. It's called work. I like Deion when he played, with Emmitt Smith, but I can't stand him now. That's a lot of people. I'll be honest with you. Ever since I caught wind and saw the video of Deion throwing that water on the reporter,
it was
I think
McCarver.
that's what did it for me.
It was Tim McCarver, and I've had disdain for him ever since. Man, he's a bully. That's why I don't like him. He's a bully. People's like, well, when he starts winning games, you'll learn to like him. No, I won't, because he's a bully and he's a narcissist. I can't stand it.
You can't be throwing stuff on somebody, man.
Yeah, just because they have a different opinion or they criticize you. All they did was say you should be playing two sports. You should dedicate yourself to one sport. And he takes it and gets pissed off, just like he did about this guy making a comment about his glasses. So I guess we'll see. I'd be interested to see if Deion would talk some shit to someone like The Rock or somebody. Deion reminds me of Will Smith. You're going to go up and hit somebody, he can get away with it.
So what's y'all's opinion on the Big Ten teams right now? I don't really have much one right now. I mean, I believe it's Michigan's to win. You know what I mean? That's the way I always look at it for the Big Ten. I don't really. It's so hard to gauge.
Penn State's looking good. Penn State is looking pretty good.
But when you look at,
they beat the shit out of Illinois today.
Michigan is looking real good. Look, I'm tired of saying Ohio State looks good because every year I say they look good, and they end up getting shellacked by somebody. So, but no, I really do like Michigan this year, though, in the Big Ten.
I think Penn State could surprise some people. Jesse Wilson says, Tecmo, I still do. Well, you still got the old school game.
Oh, man.
Mike Brooks says, I'm a Dallas fan for the simple. Dallas was the closest pro team near us. I got to witness Roger Staubach.
That's awesome.
Well, damn, Mike, you older than I am.
Me being an Anniston, mine would have been the Falcons.
Yeah, I mean, that's normally what happens is you pick a team closest to you so you can basically have a chance to maybe go watch them. I wouldn't mind going to a Titans game in Nashville.
Yeah.
I think that would be pretty cool. Who's Derrick Henry play for? Does he still play for the Titans? He got traded, didn't he?
Yeah, no, he plays for the Titans.
Oh, he didn't get traded. I thought they were going to trade him or something.
No, they were talking about it, but no.
Bo Jackson was the man. If Bo Jackson had been playing two sports and messed his hip up, he probably would have been one of the best running backs of all time.
That's one of the biggest cheat codes in any game in the history of mankind. If you're Bo Jackson, you can't catch him. I hate it.
What's that?
On Tecmo Bowl.
Oh, snap, yeah.
If you're Bo Jackson, bro, you can't catch him.
Then they had Bo Jackson and Tim Brown and all them players.
Bo Jackson, you can't catch the guy. Hated it. Like, you couldn't play anybody. If they're Bo Jackson, they're going to win. Or if they got
I can go back to the Atari days, Atari 2600. You had a football game, you could run off the screen and come back around the other way and cheat.
What?
Yeah. Perfect Cracker said that Hunter got knocked the F out. I just talked about that. Him playing two ways like that is going to catch up to him. He's going to get injured.
Yeah.
Once Bama gets a quarterback established, they'll do all right. I hope you're right, Denison.
I do believe that.
But like Jonathan was saying, the line don't start blocking a little bit better. It don't matter who you put back there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okie Light got blown out today. What happened to Bama? Well, we've been talking about that for a little bit now. Alabama's problem is they just they're not gelling right now. They got new parts everywhere. They even got 2 new offensive coordinators. People forget that. Alabama's not only got a bunch of new parts on their team as a whole, they got new parts on the coaching staff. So it's going to take a while to gel, I reckon, is my opinion on that. To just give a general synopsis of it. These comments get bogged down here.
Corey Baker said they should just write it out with Milroe. I can't agree with that.
I don't think the problem with Milroe is he turns over the ball too much in big games.
Well, I just don't think you should write anything out. Period. You got to look at the future. If you don't think he's going to be the guy in the future, I don't believe you go with him.
Grip keeper like Kevin Mack for the Cleveland Browns, I reckon, on the Tecmo Bowl.
Yeah. Oh,
Someone said Manning's coming to Alabama. I don't think
not coming to Alabama.
I don't think Manning's any better than the quarterbacks we got right now, to be honest with you.
like no. The hype in Alabama camps right now is behind Dylan Lonergan. That's what everybody's saying. So,
yeah, earlier I'd said something about the weird reason why Bob Stoops stepped down at the weird time that he did. She said there was no official reason given, but I heard some stuff, but I'm just not going to say it.
Bryce Wayne said, "Are all the QBs on Bama 5 stars?" No, they're actually not. Believe it or not, Jalen Milroe wasn't. And Jalen Milroe came he was a late commit to Alabama. And the reason why he was a late commit is because Alabama didn't want to bring him in as a quarterback. They wanted to bring him in as a running back for the reasons we're seeing actually right now. But he wouldn't come over unless he was a quarterback. So it's kind of odd that the situation is playing out the way it's playing now. So it shouldn't surprise Alabama fans that follow recruiting what's going on right now, because this was a situation that was arising already years ago when the whole recruiting for Jalen Milroe started. So I believe he was committed to Texas at one point and then flipped to Alabama when Alabama said, okay, we'll bring you in as a quarterback. But another one, our highest recruited quarterback coming in is going to be Julian Saying, but that's in this year's class. Out of all the ones, when you're looking at quarterback talent, as far as stars go, it's Ty Simpson right now. So then it'd be Julian Saying when he comes on campus. Dylan Lonergan's right there too, but he was a 4-star, so highly rated. He was almost a 5-star.
Colorado and Colorado State are tied at 14. Texas is pulling away from Wyoming. It's 31-10.
And stars don't mean a damn thing, so.
They really don't. I'd be willing to bet that you probably have more 2, 3, and 4 stars that make it in the NFL than 5 stars do.
Oh, hands down, of course. Yeah, and see, Matt, I agree with. I made that point earlier, 100%. Like, Ty Simpson has the highest potential out of all the guys at Bama. He absolutely does, and it's not even close. His ceiling is way higher, like, than all the others, and that's what people don't tend to follow. Is like a lot of them have already hit the ceiling, or it's close. Like Jalen Milroe's ceiling is not very high, so he, in terms of like recruiting, he had a high floor because he had a low ceiling, right? When you're talking about the gap between the talent, if that makes any sense to you guys, I have a hard time explaining this shit myself. Is the way they word things. But no, I think Ty Simpson is going to be the guy for Alabama. Now, down the road, if you're talking about the next guy, it's going to be Dylan Lonergan, in my opinion. He looks like he's going to be the next star. But
that pass to the tight end, that first long, not really long, but medium to long pass to be completed to the tight end, I think that's really going to help his confidence going forward.
Yeah.
And I think he'll be a little more comfortable. See, he wasn't even really the starter in this game. He was sort of thrown in there. If he gets starter reps this week, then he might do a lot better.
Yeah.
All right, brother, do you need to get out of here?
Yeah, I'm going to head out of here. I got to get up at 2:45 in the morning. I'll probably wake up at 3 now. So in about 5 hours for work. So.
If y'all mind, jump out and hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed already to the channel, hit the subscribe button. There's a bell next to it too, so hit the bell too. That way it'll notify you as well when I'm up and on the air. Also, after this video after we go off the air here, it'll upload, and there'll be a heart donation button at the bottom if you want to throw a few dollars in the coffers as well. We also have the Outlaw Posse that you can join. You'll see people in here with the badges. If you want to get your badge and get deputized and be an Outlaw Posse, it's not but $2.99 a month, 75 cents a week. And you'll get a random Four Horsemen shout out on the podcast, as well as maybe be the comment of the day.
And shout out to the Gov. He just joined, I think.
Yeah, he joined last
one.
He joined yesterday, I think. I'm gonna get to him. I gotta give them their deputization and give them the recognition. So when are you coming back? Before I let you go, is there anything you want to plug, or when are you coming back as far as podcasting goes?
As far as my podcast, I'm not going to give you a time frame because I don't know when I'm going to start doing it again. I'll come on here. I'll be a guest anytime you guys want. But yeah, that's about it.
Yeah. Well, some people had asked me, but you'd already told me that. I forgot. You did tell me that you was just going to be a guest.
Yeah, I may start later on when I get more time, but right now work's priority and kids and all that, and going to school and finishing up my master's degree is a priority. So one thing at a time.
All right, brother. I'm gonna get out of here. I appreciate you coming on.
All right, thank you for having me on.
Maybe we can do this again. Maybe we'll start doing this every Saturday night or Sunday or whenever you're free.
Yeah, no, I'm down. Hopefully everybody on here enjoyed it. So
That's right.
you guys have fun, and as always, roll tide from me.
And KMCA, all the other teams, Jonathan. You gonna tell them class is dismissed, or shall I?
No, you're good. You take it.
All right. Class is officially dismissed.